Hi everyone. Today we're at a factory that specializes in the production of veneered facades and veneered panels. Today we'll show you the whole production process and show you how veneer is actually made. We're at a factory today that buys raw wood, turns it into veneer, and then uses that to make panels. It's a very interesting technology. Why are we showing you this? First, it's because we only work directly with manufacturers. If we work with a factory, it means we've been there many times in person. We know the owners personally, and we carefully check the entire production cycle from start to finish. Second, we know this factory has the best prices because they have a full production cycle. That means they have a minimum number of middlemen adding their own margins. This factory could be quite interesting for those looking to place wholesale orders or for someone needing to fulfill a single large order. For example, it could be for a hotel. They give the very best price. What does the process for veneered furniture look like? There's a huge amount of timber here. This is American walnut. First, the raw wood is carefully soaked right here. The wood itself absolutely has to be soaked thoroughly first so that it can be properly used as a high-quality raw material. There is a special chemical solution used here where the wood softens up, but this is just the very first stage to prepare the wood for what we will show you next. So what exactly is veneer? Well, veneer is essentially a very thin, delicate slice of natural wood. So they first cut down a tree just like this one and brought it all the way here. And then you have to make sure that this wood is carefully sliced into a very thin layer. After that, the veneer is glued directly onto a sturdy chipboard. Or depending on the project, it could be plywood, or it could even be an MPC panel. Anyway, there are different materials here. We've talked about this a lot in our episodes. The key task is to make sure this wood turns into a thin layer of veneer, specifically a thin slice of wood. Let's go, I'll show you how it looks. Here. The wood just soaks in water at first, but then we arrive at the most crucial part of the entire process. To successfully get a thin slice, you have to soak it for several days in a very special, carefully prepared solution. So a large pit is dug out. Overall, it's a worldwide technology. I've been to a Russian factory that doesn't make veneer, they make a special board, and we can show footage from that factory. The technology here is a bit different. It happens right here. There's a terrible stench here because it's a special solution and it stinks. And then this wood is cut so that it can be turned into veneer later. Let's go. I'll show you the vacuum where the wood itself is kept. It stinks like crazy here. This pool is up to 5 meters deep. So what you are seeing here is just the top section, while the actual raw material is tucked away inside as logs that are currently sitting in a soak. It is a necessary step because you have to soak the wood to make it soft enough to work with. I spent a lot of time in the village as a kid. When you chop birch and split it, it's wet inside and splits easily. When birch sits for a long time, it becomes dry. That's it, you can't do anything with it anymore. It is actually very light and it breaks quite easily. It's hard to split now because there's no moisture inside. The primary purpose of these large pools is to soak the wood thoroughly so that it becomes soft enough to be sliced. It stays here soaking for several days. It doesn't look like much now, but it'll become beautiful wall panels, facades, or maybe parts of upholstered furniture. This factory produces veneer for other plants, like those making upholstered furniture. They buy the veneer and assemble everything at their own facility. This factory has a full cycle. They buy wood, make veneer, then panels, and sell those to other manufacturers who make, say, kitchens for you. It's a long process, so when a kitchen is made, or rather, when we make one for you, it doesn't mean everything was done at a single factory. Some components might be sourced elsewhere, like the veneer, metal bases, and so on. But these are all factories that specialize in one specific product or another. This factory specializes in veneer, and they produce it in massive quantities. Moving on, so once the wood is soaked, it's cut into manageable pieces for sawing. That's done on the next machine. Come on, I'll show you. This is the raw material, carefully prepared and now completely ready to be placed into the large pool, where it will be left to soak for an extended period of time. Then, the prepared material is carefully taken out and transported over to the next workshop, where the veneer, or rather, the precise wood slicing process, actually takes place. At this specific stage, it is not quite veneer yet. It is essentially just the raw, unprocessed material waiting to be transformed into the final product. Now, this is the most interesting workshop. This is the specific area where the actual precise slicing of the future veneer takes place. So, the raw material coming from over there, this particular wood that has been soaking in water for several days, is carefully mounted onto one of these heavy-duty machines. The slicing process happens right here because the wood is finally ready. It has become soft enough to be cut into these incredibly thin, delicate layers. Unfortunately, at many of these factories in China, it is always like this. No matter how large or modern the factory might be, it is always, quite frankly, a bit of a mess. You can't compare it to factories in, say, Russia or Kazakhstan, but they still offer the best quality and the best prices. But you always have to double check and only work with prepayments and solid contracts. This is where the slicing happens. The soaked wood is securely mounted, then rotated, and a very sharp blade slices off a thin, precise layer of what will eventually become the veneer. Let's go see what it looks like from the other side. There are actually several different types of machines operating here. There's this one where it rotates and a thin layer of veneer is peeled off. And then there is this specific type of setup where a slab is mounted and moves along the blade. You can see it right here, slicing off a thin layer of veneer with a very, very sharp edge. This is the resulting material. It is a thin layer of wood, but because it is still quite wet from the process, it cannot be used for any projects just yet. To make it usable, it has to be dried. That's also a very complex process. They actually construct these highly specialized production lines specifically designed just to dry out the veneer. It looks incredibly massive and really quite cool. Here you can see an old veneer machine that is still fully operational today. A huge soaked log is mounted. It slowly hangs over this sharp, heavy-duty knife, and it carefully cuts off a very thin layer of wood. Why exactly are we showing you this fascinating process? I want you to understand that the process of making furniture and furnishing real estate is not a simple process. It's a complex, energy-intensive, long-term process that needs to be set up correctly, including choosing the right factories that actually manufacture the goods, are not actually middlemen, actually have the volume, actually have a legal entity, actually have a huge warehouse of raw materials, know how to produce it and specialize in it. This is very important. That's why we only work with factories like these. It's not a simple process. Let's imagine if you bought, I don't know, panels from a middleman, God forbid. You tell the middleman that something went wrong. The middleman sends it to the factory answers him, and most likely it will be buried somewhere. If we have complaints about veneered facades here, we come here and say, guys, let's fix this. Or when we come to the factory, we say, we need this fixed urgently. They fix it right away, they put our order in the line right away. If we found some defects at the time of inspection, and they fix it right away, that's a very important point. Let's move on. That's not all. Next, this raw wood slice, which is not yet considered a veneer, essentially goes through a complex process of cleaning and drying. That's it. And in the end, you are left with a perfectly dry wood slice. This is already raw material that can be used for veneered facades. But it's not veneer yet either. Maybe help them? I don't know, I kind of want to help them. You'll only make it worse. That's how they divide the batches. So one batch, a second one. See, they stopped it. You must not stop production under any circumstances. So they have a fast production cycle. See, they do it fast, they separated the batches. See, this is one order and a second order, but that's how they have it signed. So essentially, let's say we ordered veneer. This is one order, this is a second order, this is a third. That's how they divide it. The accounting system is so-so, to be honest, so you have to check everything. Next, here they have 2 large veneer drying lines. It's expensive. To buy a line like that, you have to do a heck of a lot of volume. It's not cheap. You can take a look at the finished goods warehouse, the raw materials warehouse. So they have quite a large number of people working there. They handle large volumes, and they provide high-quality veneered facades and veneered panels for a huge number of manufacturers that specialize in making cabinet furniture. But if we, I repeat, happen to need a significantly large volume in terms of panels, or perhaps we are now calculating a complex order for a very large furniture company, and they want to buy veneered panels in China while doing everything else in Russia, then this specific factory is ideal. They provide the best price and the best quality because they maintain a full transaction cycle, highly automated production relative to this specific product segment, and consistently good volumes. In this workshop, a simple slice of raw wood is already being expertly turned into high-quality veneer. So we saw that veneer is just a small piece that's sliced off, usually because it's cheaper from a production standpoint. I mean, you can't just take a whole tree like this, slice it, and dry it out, right? No. And that is precisely why in this workshop, these small individual pieces are carefully glued together, and then they are glued directly onto a sturdy board, specifically onto plywood. This is the dedicated workshop where skilled Chinese women meticulously glue them by hand to create a solid, uniform sheet. However, on the outside, it will eventually look just like a single seamless wood slice. Here, they glue them directly, and then they roll it all with a special hot knife so that it all looks like one single solid board. And then at the end, if we look over there, you can't see any glue. It's as if it's actually just one slice of wood. Once you glue it, it's already hard to tell or see any of the joints. But there might be some here. You can tell by the grain pattern. Here's the pattern. You can see that this is one slice and here's the second. The pattern is different here. Next, they made the veneer sheet and glued it. This is the actual veneer that gets glued onto the board. So it is finally ready for the next step of gluing it down securely onto a piece of plywood or a laminated chipboard. The specific materials used can vary quite a bit. It all depends on your unique requests and your overall budget. Next is the final stage of the process, which involves the press that actually glues the veneer securely to the board. So they take a board and place the veneer on top. First, every single surface is thoroughly coated with a high-quality adhesive. Then, the material is fed into this machine where it is pressed under intense pressure and high temperature, ensuring the veneer is bonded securely and directly to the board. Once that is done, it is either finished with a varnish, or you can choose to maintain the natural texture by applying a special protective coating, which ensures the veneer lasts for a very long time. There are actually many machines like these in operation here. This is the final stage before the veneered facades undergo a rigorous quality control check to ensure everything is perfect. Yeah, what a mess. There's stuff lying around. I just don't get why. We've probably been to more than like 200 factories in China. I just don't understand why they have such a mess. I don't get it at all. Sometimes you look at the production. We've been working with them for many years now. They have a minimal number of complaints, and at the time of inspection, very few defects. But the production floor, everything's just lying around. No standards, no inspections. I'm just amazed by it. It's really quite surprising. That's why it's vital to always have a contract in China with a Chinese legal entity, a contract with every company, and always a down payment. We only pay the second half after the goods are ready and have been inspected. And of course, the key inspection happens when the product is finished. But it's also very important that we actually install these panels too. So we produce them for the client, ship them worldwide, and we also install them in Russia. That's a very important point. I mean, initially a client comes to us and sees wood, and in the end, they see these beautiful panels on their wall. We do the full cycle. A final inspection is happening here. The light is to see the texture, to see if there are any flaws. But that's total nonsense. You still have to check. It's all a complete sham, meaning all goods must be checked. If it's a large batch, we always include penalties in the contract and selectively check 10% of the goods without fail. At the client's request, our employee can be present for the inspection of all goods and accordingly for their packaging. Packaging for raw materials is either a crate or a full box, and accordingly packaging in a container. If we ship directly from production rather than through our warehouse, why do we show such production facilities? The first reason is because we like it. I love this whole production process. I love watching it, controlling it, analyzing it. I've been to a large number of production sites in different countries. Second, we try to show the full production cycle of the product so that there's an understanding that furnishing real estate is not exactly a simple process. It's not enough to just see it all in a showroom and have it delivered. The first reason is it might be a middleman. Second, they might not specialize specifically in this product. Consequently, your price will be higher. Third, everything needs to be properly insured and packed. And fourth, of course, it also needs to be assembled. That's why we provide a full range of services from production to installation and assembly. This is directly at the client's address. For now, only within Russia. Well, mostly, of course, it's Moscow, St. Petersburg, Krasnodar, and Kazan. This is a very important point. That's why we're showing the production. So this factory has the best prices in terms of veneered facades, in terms of veneered panels, in terms of any veneered modules, because they make veneer for a large number of furniture manufacturers for cabinet furniture. So if you found this episode interesting, please be sure to give it a thumbs up and take a moment to write a comment below to share your thoughts. If it was interesting, we'll film more episodes like this. And of course, send in your design projects. Our staff will quickly provide a quote, and we'll do everything to bring your dream project to life.